Yeah. Today, I'm talking about one of my most excited, well, I guess what helped me the most, emotions and essential oils. Taking the wheel. Have you ever felt like your emotions are just taking you over? Back when my kids were younger, I had had major emotion issues. Basically, anything that happened, I would fly off the handle. I didn't really know how to control myself. I had triggers from past hurts and things like that. And I was just kind of at my wits' end. I had been to every type of counselor, things like that, in order to try and figure out and get some help. And nothing really did until a neighbor of mine had one of these classes. And a person who just doesn't go to those types of events. And so, anyway, my kids were young. I needed a break. My husband was working and in the car so many hours a day. So we didn't really get to see each other. And so I was like, okay, I'll come to your event. I didn't realize how life changing it was going to be. And what it had to do with was the emotions. Shay, the person who put on this event, was wonderful. She had had me do this little scan thing, and it had come up with some different oils. And she told me that these oils all have different emotions that are affiliated with them. And so she handed me this little emotions book. And after I had taken this little test and it had come up with these different oils, I don't remember what oils they were. I really wish I did. I believe On Guard was one of them, and I'll tell you why. But anyway, so I was reading in this book, and as I was reading, she was having me smell the oils, and tears were just coming down my face because everything that was written in this book was exactly what I was feeling, but I couldn't verbalize. And was never able to verbalize. And so it was just this huge, like, aha moment, and just a release had started. And I didn't realize how much the release had started until the next day. The next day, I woke up and I just could not stop crying, all from one sniff of each of these different oils. I think it was 5 different oils that had come up on this little scan that I did. I was blown away. I was in tears. I had called Shay. I said, I don't know what you did to me, but I can't stop crying. And if you know Shay, she's like, oh, isn't it just so beautiful? And I'm like, no, it's not. I have to be a mom today. I got things to do. I can't be sitting here crying. Anyway, she's like, no, it's beautiful because you're finally releasing those emotions. And it was really powerful. At that moment in time is when I said, I have to have these in my house. I have to. And because of what a life change it could be. And again, I think it was On Guard because I could not get enough of diffusing On Guard. And we're going to talk about different oils, some of the emotions oils that came out later in this workshop today. So I'm glad you're here. Have you ever felt like your emotions were in the driver's seat? Like you're just along for the ride? Kind of told you my story. And so that's my personal story of what happened and why I do what I do. So this experience brought me to doTERRA. I was a user of oils for a very long time, but I had realized that I had so many trapped emotions that I never dealt with, that were literally living my body and running the show. And I was completely done with that. I didn't want to live that way any longer. I wanted patience for the kids. I wanted to be a good mom. I didn't want to break down all the time. And so I want to help you take the wheel and get to the point of where I am now. So let's get started. All right. Put in the comments any emotions that you feel or that you've had that have taken over. I would love to hear. So, you're created to function as a whole. When we talk about emotions, we have to look at the whole picture. You were created to function as one person, mind, body, and spirit. You can't separate them. When your body is hurting, your mind feels it. When your mind is stressed, your spirit feels heavy. True wellness means nourishing all 3 parts of who you are. We've been taught our whole lives that our brain is in our head, but science is now telling us something fascinating. We actually have an internal navigation system made up of 3 processing centers or 3 brains. The first is the mind, your logic and your intellect. The second is the heart, that's your intuition. There are actually more neural pathways running from your heart to your brain than from your brain to your heart. Your heart is literally sending more signals to your brain than the other way around. And the third is the gut. That gut feeling that you've had your whole life, it's real. 90% of your body's serotonin, that feel good hormone, is produced right in your gut. These three brains are in constant communication. When one is off, all of them feel off. If you think about it, when you roll up on a car accident, what do? You see it first, right? And then you have the hurt here, and then it gets to your gut, right? So they're all interconnected. The three brains communicate with each other, they feed back to, and therefore they influence the mind. Now, the cellular engine, emotions are a biological reality. Here's something that blew my mind when I first learned it. Emotions are not just feelings, they are actual physical information carrying molecules in your body. These molecules bind to receptors that are on your cells. They enter the cell and they literally impact how that cell functions and how it behaves. This is not woo woo, this is biology. It's why chronic stress shows up as headaches, or you have tight shoulders, or you have a sick stomach. Your body is keeping score of every emotion you've ever experienced. Now, emotional cruise control in the backseat driver. If we repeat the same emotional reactions enough times, your brain gets efficient. It builds a memorized route, like a superhighway, so it doesn't have to work hard next time. This is emotional cruise control. And those memorized routes eventually become beliefs. Things like, I'm not good enough, I can't handle this, or nothing ever works out for me. Those beliefs then show up in your life as the backseat driver, constantly telling you where you can go and where you cannot go. The beautiful thing is, you're not stuck on that highway. You can choose a new route. Let's walk through how this works in real life. Imagine you get a stressful text message out of nowhere. That's the stimulus. Life happens, something happens. Just had one of those in the grocery store. Daughter, wasn't a text message, it was a phone call. Now, if my teenagers call me, I know there's something wrong. And it was a car accident, right? So instantly my mind started processing, and that's what it does. I have to figure this out. Okay, where are you? What are you doing? What roads? Is everybody okay? Like all of those questions, right? And that leads to a physical reaction. I literally wanted to start crying. Okay. This wasn't the first time. Okay. The first couple of times I handled it okay, but this time I was like, again. And so your physical reaction, your heart picks up, your gut ties in a knot. And then over time, if this happens enough, it forms a belief that you're always stressed or stuck. That is how an event becomes a chemical habit in your body. This is where essential oils come in as your roadside assistants. Here's why they work so well. Aromas have a direct route to the amygdala and the limbic system, the emotional seat of the brain. Scent bypasses the conscious, thinking mind and goes straight to where emotions and memories are stored. That makes it the fastest way to shift your mood and help you take the wheel. So, first, you want to interrupt those old mental emotional response patterns and you want to create new ones. And so, you stimulate multiple regions of the brain, your endocrine system, your immune, your limbic, and that affects the deepest levels of your body, emotions, and psyche in order to anchor in a healthy biochemistry. So, one chemical drop of this oil has 40 million trillion molecules, and these compounds service every cell of the body. We actually have smell receptors on every cell of our body. So, I'll give you an example. My aunt, her sister had passed away a year prior, and she had come to visit me. And it had been a year later, and she couldn't even say her name without crying. And I said, Auntie, smell this. And this is an oil called Console. She just smelled it. And literally within a minutes, she was able to say her name and no longer cry about it. She was able to move past that emotion that she was stuck in. And that's huge, right? Like, think about that. I want you to think yourself right now. What's an emotion that maybe you get stuck in, or what's something that you continuously do over and over and over again? How can we stop that? That's what we're talking about here today. That's how we got her to get past it, by not to mention Console. I love the smell of Console. So good. But it helped her to get past that, which was life-changing for her, because now she can talk about all the good about her sister and the fun that they had and those types of things that she wasn't able to do before. And that's just important, right? For us to be able to deal with those emotions and to release them and then to move on. Us holding on to them is what causes a lot of times the underlying issues that are going on in our body. So emotions can take that wheel physically, believe it or not. It does happen, right? Another story, another person on my team, she had not believed in the emotion side of the oils for many months, but she had the shoulder pain. And she's like, I've used every single pain oil of one of these oils over here. There's pain oils over here, right? She used them all. And she was like, Andrea, it still hurts. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, let's just look up. We have these resource guides and you can look up shoulder. So I looked up shoulder. I said, here, try this oil. Didn't tell her that it had to do with emotions, but that's what it had to do with. So I had her try the oil and that sold her. She's like, what? She's like, it's gone. That's how quickly. And again, if it's, something that we've been dealing with that we haven't released or that we haven't worked through, a lot of times we can store those. So we want to make sure that we're staying healthy emotionally as well. So, all right. So let's talk about the application of these. All right. So how do you actually use them? There's 3 different ways that you can use these essential oils. Aromatic is the fastest for mood. Just open the bottle and inhale like I did with that console. You can put it in a diffuser. A diffuser is in this box here. There's a diffuser. I actually should have the diffuser out, but you just put some water and then you put in an essential oil. So at the beginning, when I told my story, On Guard is the protective blend. All I wanted was protection. My dad died when I was 13. Then my grandfather and my other grandfather and my great grandfather within the next 5 years all had passed away. I had felt very vulnerable and very not protected. And so that's what I really wanted to smell. And so I had that oil on 24/7 in the diffuser. And it really did give me, it felt like a big hug, right? And so utilizing a diffuser, and that helps to affect everybody in the house too. If you wake up and the mood is just off, throw some cheer in that diffuser. It's going to uplift everybody and make them happy. Citrus oils do that. That's a citrus and mint blend. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Second is topical. You can actually put them on topically. Apply to the back of your neck. You can put it over your heart, the bottoms of your feet. Sometimes you'll come across an oil where you're like, I cannot stand the smell of this. Or maybe you are sensitive to smells. Do it on the bottoms of your feet. The feet lead to every single part of our body. And so the oils know where to go. It's pretty amazing how that works as well. They're going to move through the cells and the tissue very quickly and be effective that way as well. So last is we can take essential oils internally. Okay. Now, if you want to know which ones you can, on the side of the bottle, they will actually have the supplemental facts for those that you're able to take internally. So this is thyme, and thyme is one that we can take. Can actually use them in cooking, believe it or not. Side note. So that helps you to do your cell health from the inside out. Now let's talk a little bit about the botanical dashboard, mapping your emotions. So take a look at that mood matrix right here on the screen. Just take a second and honestly ask yourself, where are you sitting on this wheel right now? Are you feeling a little gloomy? Are you feeling anxious, fatigued? Think about that. Type it in the comments below, okay? And then you're going to consider that negative habit or that go-to habit that you would normally go to when feeling that emotion. Okay, maybe you're feeling a little depressed and you want to go grab that glass of wine, right, to try to uplift you. Side note, it doesn't. It just magnifies the problem worse, speaking from experience. So what we want to try to do is switch that habit. Instead of reaching for that glass of wine, how about we reach for an essential oil? So consider that you're feeling a little discouraged, right? So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go to an herb or a grass, maybe an oil like Balance. This is one of my faves too. Balance is amazing for helping to balance you out and making you feel better. So you identify that matching emotion in the wheel, discover that corresponding essential oil blend. You can do a blend. You can look at even single oils. They all fall into the categories of citrus, spices, herbs and grasses, trees, floral, and mint. And then you use it aromatically and topically to create a new response habit. So let's say we're feeling gloomy. Each of these were these oils were created and designed for emotional redirection. Okay, so gloomy, you're going to use cheer, which is uplifting. Optimistic, it's going to help you to be optimistic and resilient. If you're feeling disinterested and bored, passion is going to help you feel joyful and daring. angry and ashamed, forgive. I always say we can always use a little forgive in our life over your heart and over your liver. And this helps to help you to feel more contented and patient. Sad and grieving, console. Told you the story about my aunt. That's going to have you have hope, feel hopeful and feel whole. If you're feeling fear or anxiousness, peace helps you to feel more composed and center. And then motivate also can help with that, with feeling encouraged and confident and driven. I have a funny story about motivate. What you're going to learn about me is I love to tell stories. When my kids were younger, I don't know, it was probably like, when these first came out, I don't even know how long ago that was. It was a bit, but my kids were younger and I just stuck a diffuser in our dining room. And it's kind of like nobody actually sits in the dining room. I don't know what you guys do. You use your dining room. We don't, but nobody actually sits in there, but everybody walks through there all the time. And so I put motivate in the diffuser and I was just off doing my thing. And I noticed it was like really quiet, like scary quiet, scary quiet, like they're getting into trouble. So I went to go search and see what each of them were doing. Every single one of them was cleaning their closets. Not even joking. That's motivate. Motivate, if you're like, gosh, I don't feel like doing anything, motivate can really help you. For me, like if I use it one day, it really helps me the next day to get my butt in gear and get going. But yeah, motivate was it. It was crazy. I was like, there is no way. Like I was just testing them to see how they work because I'm like you, I'm skeptical. So I'm going to see how it works. And it was amazing. So anyway, can you see how utilizing one of these oils, depending on your mood or where you're at, how that can bring you to another side? If what I'm saying is true, I wish you could smell them all. If we were all together, we would all be passing these around and smelling them because they're just amazing. So you just need one that's going to help you to meet you where you are today, right? So let's talk about the foundations though. When it comes to mood, especially, I believe, and there's actually scientific proof that nutrition plays a huge key in this. If you're hangry all the time, guess what? You're not going to be very happy, right? And sometimes you're eating food, but you're still hangry. That's what I was going through. Finally, this year, I'm getting the support that I need, and I'm coming over on the other side. I'm so excited that I'm finally doing better and my body is finally absorbing nutrients. But here's the deal. You can't run on an empty tank. If your cells are not getting fed and not getting the nutrition that they need, that's where that anxiousness comes in. That's where that emotional ups and downs comes from. So much is from lack of nutrition. You can't run a car on an empty tank, and you can't run your emotional health on an empty tank either. So on the left, you have your lifelong vitality pack. These fill the nutritional gaps that most of us have from modern food and stress. Now, our food nowadays, we just can't get the nutrition from it that we could back in like the 1800s. And apple is just not made up of the same thing. And so supplementation is important depending on the type of diet you're eating. But for most people, yes, we need to have the supplementation. And some of us are just so depleted in so many things that we have to get ourselves to a level before we can actually, food will take over and fill those gaps, but we have to bring it up. And the Lifelong Vitality Pack has been life-changing for me and my family from a nutrition standpoint, from an energy, brain fog, an overall well-being. If you've seen me around this house for the last 3 weeks, I have been a mad woman. Number one, my body is absorbing nutrients, so I have energy again. Number two, started taking Lifelong Vitality Pack again. I had stopped because my body wasn't absorbing things. So, but when I figured out what was going on, now I started taking it again, and I have felt the difference, and my body is able to function better and also recover better from having that nutrition. Now on the right is the gut health. Now this is extremely important for everyone. About 85% of the United States has gut issues, and that's what I was dealing with. And so here is a great starting place for helping your digestive health. Digestin, we have a different probiotic now, but PB Assist and Terrazyme. 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. Remember that. And when you start consistently supporting your gut, your mental clarity and your mood will start to shift. It is foundational. So we have actually a 90-day cleanse that you can do, or a 90-day wellness, we'll call it a wellness guide, that will get you back on track. And so once you get to that point, then you can pick and choose, right? So these are really just, you can't run on that empty tank. So we need to fill them. Now the destination is a healthy mood lifestyle. So what does it look like? What does it actually look like? It looks like this checklist over here. Healthy mind means that you're working on your thought patterns. A healthy heart means that you trust your intuition and you get good rest. Sleep is important. And a healthy gut means that you're digesting well and that your overall body feels good. And this doesn't mean that life is perfect. Okay. We're always going to have things coming at us. I can't even tell you. I don't want to tell you, but I'm sure it's going to come up. The last 3, 4 months have been pretty rough. We've had a lot of stuff that's happened, and it's been one thing after another, after another, after another. And the difference between me today to where I was, 15 years ago, before I had these oils in my house, is night and day. Night and day. I mean, life changing. Like, I can't even explain how life changing for me, that I was able to handle each one of those things that came up they're pretty major, in a way that was honoring to God, that was honoring to me, that was honoring to my family. And being able to release the negative emotions and not hold on to things has been extremely important as well. So just know we understand life's not perfect. Things are going to still happen. Now, I've told you some testimonials and some stories already regarding the emotion oils and utilizing these. And so, yeah, if you have something to share, I would love for you to share it in the comments. This is something that will continually be up here. So maybe you'll encourage somebody else. If you have a testimony about an oil that's helped you in one way or another, in an emotional time, or, things like that, please share for other people to be able to help them too. Make our mess our message. All right, so let's talk about how to get doTERRA in your home. There's 3 different ways. Number 1 is retail. Okay, this is the most expensive way. If you are paying retail for doTERRA, please contact me. We do not want you doing that. The only place that you would buy these retail is if you were just grabbing one off the shelf real quick at a store, which we don't really carry these in stores, or like at an event. I'll sell them for retail at that point because, I've already paid for the other things. But the next is like wholesale. Wholesale is the best way to purchase because it's like a Costco membership. You get everything at a discount. You used to pay a one-time fee, but the one-time fee has actually been waived now. And you get 25% off everything. And it's only waived if you order through someone like myself, a wellness advocate. So get in touch with me or whoever invited you to this video to get started with doTERRA so that you can get your membership for free, which is pretty amazing. Now, we have our wholesale plus points for free products. Okay, this is the absolute best way to buy doTERRA. So if you start with a starter kit, which we have many different, like this is our natural solutions kit behind me here. Look at all the amazing, you got the lifelong vitality pack, you get the top 10 oils. You get to try a bunch of the different things too. The one for pain, coconut oil, things like that. When you start with a kit like this, you get it highly discounted. Okay, I think you save like $150 if you buy that as your initial startup. So, and then you join what's called our loyalty rewards. If you do our loyalty rewards, you order 50 PV, there's PV points attached to each product or more every single month, or any month that you do, you're going to earn product credits back. And it starts at 10%, and then it moves up 5% until at month 12, you're at 30%. So every 3 months, it actually jumps up 5%. So that's pretty amazing that you get back in free product credits. Very cool. We can talk more about that later. But highly recommend you click that button when you do sign up to start your loyalty rewards. You don't have to, you can order 1 PV in order to keep it open. So we have lots of flexibility. It's pretty awesome. All right, let's talk about the emotional aromatherapy kit. Now, we've talked about these emotionals all day. If that is your number 1 thing that you're dealing with, get this kit. All right. Now, if you have kids, get this kit on month 2. Okay. Go back and get that natural solutions kit or one of the basic kits. Here's the deal. These top 10 oils cover about 80% of what comes up on a day-to-day basis. It has happened on too many occasions where somebody has bought one of these specialty kits and is like, but this happened to my kid, or this happened. And I'm like, oh, wait, you didn't get that kit. Oh, wait, you didn't get that kit. So you can absolutely start with the emotions kit if that's like your number 1 thing, but I always recommend having these in the house for everything else that comes up. Have a kit with these oils and a book. The reference book is amazing to help you through and to give you the confidence that you need in order to be able to utilize these. We are also here as wellness advocates as your resource as well. So don't be afraid to reach out to us to be able to help you too. But we really want you to be empowered. That's what this is all about, empowering you to be able to take care of your family and be the first line of defense. So we do have these in little bottles like this, and we also have them in already diluted roller balls. I had my piece. Oh, here it is. Already diluted roller balls that you can get it as well. So, and you can also add this on to any kit if you want to get all of it right now, which probably would be a pretty good bet. The roll-ons are great because they're just on the go and ready. Like you can just roll it on and go. The emotion oils, and these are great for diffusing, smelling directly out of the bottle, things like that. So, and then we have so many different kits. Talk to the person who invited you to this video. They can help you decide by what your priorities are right now in order to get you started. But I do want to notice this Healthy Habits kit. If this one's a little too big for you, this one might be your starting point, because this gives us that nutrition with the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It gives us the probiotic, the digestive enzymes, and it gives us some good oils starting off with that On Guard and that balance that I've talked about. Frankincense is amazing. That's one of my faves too. And the deep blue rub for pain. I call that the gateway oil for men. So if you need to get your husband on board, put some of that on him and he will be sold, promise. And right now, doTERRA also is anyone who orders 150 PV or more on their initial order. Okay, this is July of 2026, so I'm not sure when you're watching this, but you get a free, you get to pick from 3 different things, but everybody picks another diffuser. Diffusers are amazing to have in the house. All right. Many times we have other promotions that are going on. So right now we have the Masters Club. And so if you're on my team, please use this Masters Club code when you enroll. The reason is because you get free oils, and it also helps our upline Laura because she's a part of Masters Club. And so definitely do that. Again, we're in July of 2026. Don't know how long this is going on, but if it's anytime past that, maybe I'll come back and delete this. But so what do you do next? Pick a starter kit, fill out the form online to get your order in, talk to the person who invited you so they can assist you. It's not that it's hard. It's just, there are a lot of choices and we don't want you to be confused. And we just want to help guide you through the process. We are not here to sell you things that you don't need. The worst thing for me is to have you get a bunch of oils and have them sit on a shelf and never open them. Every single one of these oils here are all open. Okay. So we don't want you to have them not open. Now those boxes over there, those are all unopened, but anyway, I digress. So we want you to utilize them. So that's not our point. Our point is to get you what you need, get you started so that you can start to see the benefits and become empowered in your own health. Get a scan. Talk to me. I have a scanner. I can send it to you. We don't even have to be in front of each other, and you can do it outside of there. And then set up a meeting. Again, we're not here to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need. Really, we are here to empower you and to help you, to educate you. If you say, you know what, I'm not ready right now, great. Let me know when. Never am I here to be like forcing you to do anything or talk you into anything. Really what I want to do is just empower you. And I just know what these oils have done for me, my family, and my life. That I would not be where I am today without them. And that is why I want everybody to have these in their home, especially from the emotion standpoint, because I mean, we're emotional creatures, right? And let me talk about one thing real quick. Okay. For all my little Christian friends in the room. Okay. This does not replace prayer. This does not replace God, but let me tell you where I was at. I had such brain fog, such a block here because of all of the negative emotions and the shame and all of that stuff that I was feeling for so many years. That it actually put a block between me and God, me and Jesus. And so what these did is they're tools in my toolbox. God gives us these tools because we live in a fallen earth, right? And so these were tools in the toolbox that will help to release those things so that you can have that relationship, just an amazing relationship with him too. Okay. This is with prayer. I know I didn't talk much about that in that, but I do want you to know that. Okay. Because I know the emotion side. I had one of my pastor's wives in here and she just wouldn't believe me that it was replacing prayer. That's not the case, okay? Anything you can turn into a god. This is not a god. What this is what God gave us because he knows we live in a fallen earth in order to help us to heal in all ways, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, okay? So I just want that as a side note. Sorry, didn't know I was going to cry. Anyway, so please don't let that stop you from getting these. All right, so now there's 3 types of people that we talk to. This is exciting. Why? Because there's more opportunity here than just the essential oils. Number 1 is just living the lifestyle. I did that for over a year when I first started. I just wanted these oils in my home. I had so many things I had to deal with on my own, and emotionally and physically and everything else. And so just using them was just amazing, and learning about them. I just love to learn and love to be educated on things. And so that's what I did. So just living the lifestyle, do that for a couple months. See how you're feeling. Like, it's amazing. Second, share with your friends. Don't keep these a secret. I kept them a secret. I only share with my closest family at first. And it was funny because everybody I shared with is like, I need those. And so everybody signed up, and I was like, oh, I'm making some money from this. How is this happening? Okay. I have been over here selling jewelry, making things, doing this, that, and the other, trying to bring in extra income. And I was like, okay, well, this is actually working and I'm not really doing anything. It was kind of awesome. And so third is building a business with this, sharing oils with people. Sharing oils with people can earn you some income that can help your family. I mean, what would $500 extra a month do for you? We have a very great plan. The comp plan with doTERRA is amazing. And that's one thing that I pride myself on, is being able to lead a team of people to earn income as well. And so I'm here to help if that's something that you're open to, or if you just want to learn about it. Again, we're not here to press you into anything. We're not going to make you do anything you don't want to do, because that doesn't help any of us. So we just want to help you where you want to be supported. And so just communicate that to us, and we will be there for you. So think about this. What do you want to plant? New beliefs, relationships, fixed relationships, different habits. You fill a bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought. You heal yourself moment by moment. Change your thoughts and you change your world. And so with this emotions workshop, hopefully you've learned a lot. Hopefully you are able to go chew on some things, and hopefully you're able to join us in this amazing way to heal. Have a great day.